Hello boys and girls, Steve the Builder here. Welcome to my workshop again. Good to have you here. Just an update. I've finished our little garage here. Look, it's got its little protecting sides on it for the cars to come up and in here and park. And the station's all finished. Little pumps are ready to pump petrol. Everything's ready to go. So that's all done. So I can bring that to the preschool when we meet, which is going to be soon, I hear, which is wonderful news for us. And I've carried on now with Johnny. Johnny's my robot's name. And you'll see that I painted his head. It's only had one coat. And you'll see I've been scratching some bits off. You'll see why I've scratched some pieces off later on. I want to scratch a wee bit more off. And I need to paint his chest a wee bit better. Now going on his chest is going to be this little TV screen that I've made here. I just need to cut that TV screen out. And we might do that now. Just grab my scissors out of my tool belt. Here we go, and we'll just snip out this little TV screen because it's going to go on the robot's chest, on Johnny's chest. I'm a bit worried that the glue might let this go, but we'll see. Might need to have a new design of this if it doesn't work, but we'll try it out first and see if it does. We want a TV on his screen, a TV screen on his chest, because you'll see why when we get a bit further on. Oh, I think this paper's going to let go, but we'll see what we can do. Right, that's going to go on his chest like so here. So I'm just going to put a wee bit of glue on this. Hopefully this will work. If it doesn't, well, I'll do it again so it does. So let's just pop that TV screen on his chest. You've got to have a TV on you if you're a robot, don't you? What do you think of his head? Right. Now, sadly, you'll notice something happened to poor Johnny. He broke his arm. Oh dear. But it was my fault because you might remember I made the little hinges here out of cardboard. And he's been as he was playing around, his elbow broke, the cardboard ripped. And I remembered when I was a boy we used to use some ribbon because ribbon's a lot stronger and holds on a lot better. So I've cut some ribbon from a piece that Linda gave me, and we're going to just fix his arm so it works. You'll see he's got a hand now. So I'll just put a bit of glue on the ribbon. And this will be a lot stronger than the cardboard and it won't let go. So let's just fix his arm like so. We'll just let that dry there. Now you'll see that I've made some sticks. And I've put some screw eyes in this longer stick. And I've got one more stick to make. So I'm just going to finish this one here. It needs a little bit of a drill here so the screw eye can go in. That should be enough. And I'll just get a screw eye out of our container over here. And we'll pop that in here. Now what might these be for, you might be asking? Well, these are going to collect, this one here is going to connect to his knees so that he can walk. So I'm going to run a string from each of his knees up to the stick, which will be up here, and when I pull like so, his knees can move and he can walk along. So that's what we're going to do at the end. I've got one more stick here, it's already finished. That's going to be for his hands. So when I do that, his hands can move. He's already got his one connected to his back and his head so he can stand up straight and bend over. You'll see him stand up now. Now last time we were playing with him, I told you I was going to give him some brains. Well, he's got some brains now, so he'll be able to talk soon. But we're going to show you how I gave him his brains. Well, we cut a little trapdoor in his back, poor fellow, but of course he's a robot so he doesn't mind. Let's turn him over and you'll see that I've cut a door in his back so his innards can go in here, and he's got some Christmas lights inside which are going to make up his brain. So let's turn him on and we'll just shut the door and see what he looks like now that he's got his brains going. That's why I wanted his brains to show a wee bit through his head and his eyes and his little TV screen. So how's that, Johnny? You ready to go? Yes, I am ready to go. Oh, but Johnny, let's sit you down for a wee while because I've got another robot to make with the other children, for the other children. So let's pop you down there. He's quite patient, he'll wait there while we carry on and look at our second robot. Right, Johnny's saying thank you to Kai for the name Johnny, and thank you to me for fixing his arm, which is working again properly. That's great. So let's leave Johnny now and go on and have a look at our next robot over here, which is going to be a dog. So I've just got some bits and pieces that I thought would make a dog. First of all, let's have a look at what I've picked to start with. I thought this robot could work on wheels rather than on legs, because we had these wheels we made the other day. You'll remember me cutting them on our drill press. So I thought we'll have those 4 wheels, and I found a piece of wood that could do as a base, and I thought we could put a box on the base like so, and then the wheels could go on here like so, and maybe we could have a nose of the dog like that, or maybe like this one. I think I'm tending more towards this one at the moment. So let's go ahead and put the wheels on the base first. Now I've already finished smoothing off 3, but you saw when they came off the cutter they were a bit rough like this. So I thought we'd just smooth this one off on the machine. So, oh, there's some hardware, by the way, for what we're going to put help put our dog together. So I'm just going to put the wheel in the drill press, only just so I can spin it fast, and as I spin it fast I'll be able to give it a bit of a sandpaper. So let's start that up. That should be nice and smooth now, so we'll just stop that there. That's not too bad, it's pretty smooth, and we'll take that out and we can start to use it as part of our model. So I'm just going to loosen that off. We don't want this, so I'm just going to get a spanner from here and let this piece of bolt come out. We don't need that anymore in there, you'll see why. So that bolt was there just so we could spin it. Now that it's nice and smooth, we'll pop it on the pile and we'll take our hardware here. Now last time I told you about washers. So I'm going to use 2 washers on every wheel. I'm going to use this one to go on the inside of the wheel and this funny shaped washer to go on the outside of the wheel. It just gives it a nicer finish. So you'll see that that's going to go like that, which is quite nice. And we're going to put the bolt through there like so. And then we'll put a washer on the inside, and then we can screw it into, you see I've pre-drilled those holes, I can screw it into those holes. So that's going to go in this one, and I'll use my screwdriver for that. Well, that's great. here's the last one getting screwed in, and I think that's going to be good, maybe a wee bit more. And then we'll have his wheels ready for too tight now, just a little bit less. That's good. Right, our doggy, whose name we can call Rover, I guess. Most dogs are called Rover. Moon Rover, he could be called Moon Rover seeing he's a space dog. So here's his body, he's going to go on here. So we might just glue that on now. Get that right in the middle. There we are, his body's on. I've cut a V in this tube, that's going to be his tail. So we'll just glue that on too. Dogs have to have tails. Well, some don't. I guess bulldogs sometimes don't have tails, but Moon Rover's going to have a tail. So let's just join on his tail. Perfect tail, look at that. Now he needs a head. Straighten his tail up a bit. I chose this one. Let's make his face first. I think we might just have a look at this good face. Maybe some eyes here. Maybe let's try that and see what it looks like. They'll have to have some brains, but they'll be inside. I think this dog's going to be a mathematician. That means they're good at counting. Lots of dogs can count well. So Moon Rover is going to be able to count, I'm sure. So we'll just glue his other eye on. There's one eye on. Oh, he's starting to look like a doggy, isn't he? Let me just take his eye over that way. We'll balance them up. Now what else does he need? He needs a nose. Dogs have a nose. So let's give him a nose. That's a good nose. Let's make his nose stick out a bit more. I've found that. Give him a bigger nose, shall we? Put some glue right around that. That can go on top of that. And he's got a really big nose, that's good. Most dogs have long noses, don't they? So there we are. Let's join that on here, and he's just about done. A wee bit more glue from my glue sticks over here. Let's put some glue on there. And we'll pop that on here, and then he will have a head. So what else do dogs have? They have a tail. Oopsie. I need to just fix that in there because it looks like it's going to fall out. So they have a tail, they have a nose, they have ears. That's what they have, ears. So I thought we could use maybe some satellite dishes for some ears. What do you think? We'll add those on. They're going to stay together, I think it is. So he's about ready to go. Should we give him his ears as well? What do you think about there? or on top? On top, eh? So we'll just put a little bit of glue on the satellite dish here. Put one ear here. And another satellite dish. You're about there, what do you think of that? Looks good, doesn't he? Now I think we need him to be able to move along. Maybe I put one of those eyelets in the front there and we can tow him along. And he can do some maths for us. Rover, what's 1 and 1? Oh, that's true, that's 2. Good boy. What about 2 take away 1? Good boy. Right, he might need some dials and things on the side. Maybe some solar panels on his side. Maybe some dials, maybe a screen there maybe. So let's have a look at adding first of all his screw eye to the front. So I'm just going to get my drill again and we'll put a hole in here in the middle. And we'll screw that in. There we are. And then we'll have to put a string on that, and then he can be towed along and he can do some maths as he goes. So I hope you enjoyed watching Moon Rover get made. Maybe you could come up with a space dog or space robot dog or space robot cat, who knows. But I'll leave that up to you. And in the meantime, I'll get Rover to say goodbye.